Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is my Devil May Cry 5, Dante Must Die difficulty, S rank walkthrough. This is mission 19, it's called Vergil, and it is a boss fight against Vergil. So, this fight's really interesting because it's super consistent and it's really fun, but on Dante Must Die, Vergil can stay in Devil Trigger for a long time, and unless you use Royal Guard to get him out of it, seemingly, he'll stay in it indefinitely, and it gets kind of awkward. But let's talk about the fight, shall we? So, the combos you do to Vergil are up to you. You can do whatever you want, it can be as simple, it can be as fancy, it doesn't really matter. As long as you use Royal Guard on his summoned swords to keep your style up, you will not fail the style requirement. The combos themselves, like I mentioned, are up to you. Just don't get too elaborate because you generally knock him away and you'll end up failing. When I did my first run of this video, I got hit once by a summoned sword and I got an A rank. The fight was good, my style was okay, but I missed the points. So the only thing I changed is that I added the Royal Guarding of the summoned swords. When I added that, I got it my first attempt. However, I don't think this run is as clean, so as usual, the run where you do really good, you guys don't get to see. The run where I do really bad, you guys get to see, so it's a wonderful trend. But if you've been watching the video, which I hope you have, you'll notice I'm doing something to Vergil that completely pacifies him and makes him wish he wasn't born, and it's round trip. When you use the sword that I have on right now, the Dante's Devil Sword Dante, I think it's called, the DSD, if you hold Swordmaster's circle button, just while you move around the game, you will charge up round trips on your back. These round trips are very effective. They will counter almost everything that Vergil does. Do you see that? That was kind of bullshit, right? Teleports bang fucking next to me with summoned swords and just immediately juggles me in one frame. Fuck you, Vergil, you scrub. But you can punish him with the round trip so you don't have to cover the distance. They will juggle him for so long, you don't even have to trickster or anything, you can take your time. And it's really crazy. Additionally, these swords, when you tap circle, are really good at getting rid of his swords. So you can punish moves with this move I'm using at any range. You never have to be in range to punish Vergil because you'll stun him and then you can begin your combo. And as long as you do those Royal Guards and at least hit him with a few combos and keep your style up a little bit, you should be able to get the stylish points necessary to win. Now he's Devil Triggered though, this is when things get a bit bizarre. So there are certain moves where Vergil is vulnerable afterwards. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to stinger those moves, and I'm going to hit him constantly with summoned swords by doing the round trip. It doesn't matter though. He stays in this mode for so fucking long. And the worst part is not the fact that he's really crazy and all over the place, it's the fact he's healing. Look at his HP bar. This boss has a lot of life. Doesn't have as much life as some of the other ones, thank God, and he doesn't have a gay crystal. But he's fucking healing the entire time he's in this mode. And I can't do anything to get him out of it because I just can't hit him with the right things. Like, the only thing I can think of is Royal Guard's Royal Release. And I'm not going to make a strategy that involves Royal Release for people that don't even know what Royal Guard is. There's no point. So my strategy here is instead to just run away from him while holding circle. And then every time I get those summoned swords, I release them on him when he's vulnerable, and they do a bunch of chip damage to counteract his healing. Then when he lands, I try to stinger him. Sometimes I hit him, sometimes I don't. But unfortunately, my ignorance in this fight predicates that I have to dodge for far longer than I ever should. And this means he's going to teleport away, but you need to be careful because sometimes he doesn't do it. I had a time where he pretended to warp away, and then just warped and fucked me up. And I don't know why he did it. He's never done it before, and I fought this boss a decent amount. Every time he swoops down here, you have to get rid of the swords, so just press circle with this sword equipped. And then afterwards, be careful punishing him here. He can sometimes do Judgment Cut, and if you don't get out of it, you're instantly dead. Right then was my fault. I should never punish his Judgment Cuts. There's the big one. Get away from it, run towards it, and then release your round trip and then punish him. But whenever he's in this phase after Devil Triggering, he will go from doing his standard amount of Judgment Cuts to doing multiple Judgment Cuts. I don't remember the name of the orb one that he projects. It might have a different name. I'm going to call it a Judgment Cut, even though technically it probably isn't. And be careful of this. His swords have the ability to mix up now. That move here is actually quite simple to parry with Royal Guard, but I didn't want to do it for the people who can't do it. But this move here, this now has 4. I think it's 3 or 4 hits. Never challenge Vergil until he's done all of them, because he has armor. He's completely armored when he's doing the judgment cuts. And it's kind of shitty, actually. I think if you hit him while he's doing it, it should stop it. I don't agree with this idea that he started so he'll fucking finish. It's not Mastermind. And he's back in Devil Trigger. So not only is he going to be flipping around and doing his high-flying shenanigans, but he's healing again. Which is unfortunate. But he came out of it really quickly then, and I don't know why. Very bizarre, right? That's another thing I don't think I mentioned. The Rose. The Rose is so good, guys. When you get an opportunity for damage, try to launch him into the air, and then do one combo, throw a Rose at him, Trickster up to him, and then finish your combo. If you do that, you will constantly be getting freestyle. It's really, really effective. A little fun thing too, if you don't want to Royal Guard the summon swords he does, if you hold round trip on your back and turn away, you can taunt while having your back facing him, and his swords will attack your spinny circles, which is really cool. But you're not going to see it because I decided to use Royal Guard because I fucked up the style. And the reason it's tough to style on Vergil is because everything you do knocks him over, it seems. You have to be really careful. The best way to punish him, in my opinion, is to hit him first, knock him into the air, and then release the round trip while he's in the air, because then you can just trade weapons and start doing different things. But of course, the more your combos begin the same way, the more they will deteriorate in how good they are. And you might be wondering, when do you use STT? For this fight, you don't need it, but the time I use it is when he flies. If you can get STT for when Vergil flies around the arena in Devil Trigger, you will hit him and you will stop him from being Devil Triggered, which is really nice. Additionally, I say this because people will inevitably comment, when he flies around the arena, you can Royal Guard him. And if he flies towards you and you do a Royal Release, you will completely stop him and he will un-Devil Trigger. Once again, the timing to do that is not the easiest thing in the world, unless you use, I think it's Royal Revenge, but I don't know if that works, because I've never used it and I never will. But here we go, just punish him. And note, at this phase in the fight, he'll start to block. When he starts blocking, you have to break his block to get guaranteed hits. It can be awkward sometimes, because he can counter you very quickly, but if you're fast enough, you can either Royal Guard it or jump away. And he's back in Devil Trigger. Just think how quick this fight would have been if this cunt didn't heal. What a beast. That's got a massive window of opportunity, this as well, and we make him flinch. But I'm looking forward to testing this boss further and finding some breakpoints. Because one of the things I wanted to do was hit him with a real impact. I wanted to find a way to knock him into the air to give me enough time to hit him with one of the most powerful moves you can do. The problem is, if you hit him with a round trip, it constantly pushes him in a direction. I did manage to make it push him towards me once, but I didn't have ignition, so I wasn't all... Oh, here we go, motorcycle time. Always fun. Are you going to Royal Guard some swords? Oh no, he's going to do that one. Very dangerous. Look how good this round trip is, though. It trivializes him in so many ways. Here we go, this big grab. Good luck Royal Guarding that. You mess that up, you're done. Here we go. Break his block. Launch him. Do the Rose. Do the Rose, Chris. Jesus Christ, why didn't you do the Rose, Chris? Why are you talking to yourself, Chris? I don't know. Why are you answering yourself? Who knows? And now, he's Devil Triggered, and he's summoned a Doppelganger. The fun thing here is, if you release the round trip when the Doppelganger's closest, you'll fuck him up. He just got stunned just then. Did you see the game do the hit stun? Whenever you stun and kill the Doppelganger, it slows the game down, and it's really stupid, because it slowed the game down for me once, and it enabled Vergil to hit me. I have no idea why it does it. It's really bad. But it's one of those pieces of visual language that's just not good. It's visual language that gets you hit. And right now he came out of Devil Trigger, so we can hopefully mess him up. Punish, Chris, what are you doing? That was weird. Oh, I had summoned swords around me, didn't I? That's probably why. Here we go, punish him anyway. Is he going to block? He is. Try to hit him with as many hits as you can. Hopefully you can get through his guard. I like to Devil Trigger and use Stinger when he does that, because it just seems to be a guaranteed way of getting around it. Wait for the end of the judgment cuts, and then hit him with the summoned swords. Launch him. You'll never launch him if you've already hit him with round trip, though, because the round trip just keeps him plateaued. You have to launch and then round trip. Like, if I released it here when he was in the air, he'd already be aerial. and I'd be able to mess him up. But, watch this! He counters the jab! The jab of Balrog is probably the fastest attack in the game, the most consistent, quick attack, and he guard breaks it. I was so... Look how many hits we're doing here! Hitting him with a million fucking hits, and he's just like, nah, dog. I couldn't believe he did that to Balrog, and then he did his fastest counter, and I couldn't get out of it. There's the Judgment Cut, jump towards it after it's done, and then fuck him up. This should be the end. And there he is. Not a fancy fight by any measure, but an effective one. And as long as you get 5,000 points with the benefits of the 1.2 modifier, you should get the 6,000 quite easily. And there we go, 6,165. And that is the second to final mission S ranked. Thank you for watching, and you take care now.